Kol Halal Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai Hashem Rakhamadash. The one is Jim, that's the Tommy the Truth. Revelation 13:16. He causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand and their foreheads. So what I'm noticing now is there seems to be a lot of more news and the frequency increased about BCI's, brain computer interfaces, and this was a video that I stumbled upon. So you can see that we're edging closer and closer to that time where they're going to introduce that Mark of the Beast. So let's just take a look at what they have.
Mind reading devices can now predict pre-conscious thought, meaning they can figure out what you are going to do before you do it, should you be concerned. In case you're unfamiliar, a brain-computer interface is just anything that connects your brain to a computer. It can include some things that are non-invasive, like EEG caps, and those are pretty cool. It can also include chips that go directly in your brain. Those can span from a single electrode, or hundreds, or even thousands, and now we're seeing them being placed in multiple areas of the brain with pretty interesting effects, including some emergent behaviors. I was also pretty surprised to see something that looks like a shock title in Nature, which is the highest paper in the land. Basically, if you are in biology and you publish in Nature, your career is set. You're the best of the best. So this did surprise me, but we'll get into it. Brain-computer interfaces can do more than they ever have before in just a few years. People are walking and talking and even being able to experience touch when they've lost the ability to feel anything from the neck down. They can even feel it through somebody else's body. This is because we can give people virtual experiences. If we can control the electrical activity in the brain, it doesn't have to be one way. It can go both, but I do have some qualms with it, like the bionic eyes fiasco. I've got a chip on my shoulder for this one because a company called Second Sight gave people their vision back by implanting a chip in their brain and allowing visual information to go from their eye to their brain when their eyes didn't work. However, they went out of business in 2020, and people's eyes slowly became obsolete as the materials degraded. People just lost their sight. Even not doing firmware updates resulted in people losing their sight. Also, good luck finding a doctor willing to remove it. There's also been cases in which people have had their medical implants removed when they did not want them removed. They were compelled and threatened that the company would sue them. Just not always great, but they have the potential to do a lot of good. As for pre-conscious thought, meet Nancy Smith. She was a musician who was in a car crash and ended up becoming paralyzed from the neck down, and she really wanted the ability to play music again. There's been roughly 90 people who got brain-computer interfaces just in the last 2 decades, and they are becoming much more refined. She's one of the only patients who've had multiple locations for the brain-computer interfaces. She really wanted to be able to compose, so researchers did their best to make that happen. One location was placed in the motor cortex, which is involved with obviously moving as well as planning to take an action, which is important if you're going to control things in real time. She also had one placed in the posterior brachial cortex, which is involved in things like planning, reaching, and moving. Now, them not really knowing what was going to happen sounds maybe irresponsible, but I'm not a neurosurgeon, and it seems to have a beneficial result.
Also, if I'm correct, I believe that Apple has a patent to essentially capture brainwave data from people that use their wireless earbuds. So imagine if that data is being harvested as people just unknowingly go about their business. This sort of technology has already been utilized by a large-scale organization. The devil trying to make this technology seem like advancements to the human.